Hello everyone, this is Fans Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 447 for the 16th of May. For those that are watching on YouTube, you're watching a delayed telecast because the latest information is actually available only to the DPA officers, sergeants, and generals. Do check out the description below to find out how you can get the latest SITREP as soon as it's done and published. And let's start off with press the subscribe button and press the like button. At Kiev, we have the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported that they have shot down 6 KINZHALS. Fucking impressive. And then the information coming out from Ryba. Let's see this one first. They geolocated the SAM site actually at the Zuyani airport, which is actually this airport over here, the Sika Sky International Airport, Kiev, and they say that there is 2 launches and accompanied by a Cheetah ZSU. I believe this is actually the Gepard, and according to their information, they say they have sources within the Ukrainian armed forces, and they say that there's actually 3 launches at the airport, 3 launching platforms, and only 2 of them was actually operational. One of them was actually kept hidden behind buildings, and the 2 of them that was operational, one was actually destroyed, and one more is actually damaged due to the explosion from the first one that was destroyed. So yeah, so this is the information coming from the pro-Russian sources. You can believe it or you can don't believe it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change reality. Whatever the reality is, And moving on, we go by sequence. In the southern front, we don't really have anything to report on the Kherson region. The alleged Ukrainian crossing dog thingy doesn't exist. So whichever YouTube channel that tell you that yeah, you should know what to do. And moving on to the Zaporizhia line. At the Zaporizhia line, we have the Russian Defense Ministry reported shelling at Lobkove. And interesting about Lobkove is that it's actually listed as under Russian control previously, and but however, the Russian Defense Ministry reported that there is Ukrainian pickups and military personnel in a warehouse in Lobkove or Lokovoye. So as a result, this has become a kind of a gray zone. We are not becomes a little bit unsure if this is actually Russian or Ukrainian. There's a very high chance this is actually Ukrainian at this position, and then that will put into question about Petikaki because this is actually really close to each other. So we shall continue to monitor and see if we can have more information to really confirm this. And there is shelling reported at Novodanilivka, according to the Vostok group of forces, and then similarly at Melanivka, near Huyaipole, north of the Zaporizhia line. Moving into the Donetsk front, we have shelling reported at Prishestivka, and accordingly, this is actually shot using the TOS-1 flamethrower, but reported by the Vostok group of forces. And you might also notice that the words are bigger, the window is bigger, the icons also slightly bigger because I actually zoom in so that you can actually see better, especially for those that are watching on mobile. So I also appear now. I'm now here. So a bit of change in terms of the UI to make it as usual. DPA I'm always trying to improve the things. So let me know what you think in the comments, and of course subscribe if you are new to this channel, and if you are subscribed already, do check if you are actually unsubscribed by us Lan, the YouTube god. And moving on, we have fighting reported at Novomihailivka. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, or not Defense Ministry, but the press center of the Vostok group, they said that they discovered some Ukrainian forces and they actually attacked them by calling in artillery. So there is some fighting reported at Novomihailivka. There's also fighting reported at Marinka. According to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, they say that the fighting over here is one of the fiercest, along with Bakhmut city. So So this is ongoing, no details in terms of Marinka. Moving into Donetsk city, northwest of Donetsk city, which is the Avdiivka front. Miroshnikov reported fighting at Pervomaisky, as well as in the north at Novobakhmutivka towards Olosentropil. So they say that the Russians are attacking in this direction towards this Ukrainian position at Alexandropil. The other one is the usual one, which is actually Pervomaisky, if the Russians are still trying to attack and capture the rest of Pervomaisky, which probably never at this rate of going. There's a geolocation of Russian forces at this position, according to Deep State UA, which is actually along this forest line here, and they got bombarded. Otherwise, it does confirms that, you know, at least the Russians have some control around this area here. And that's all from the Avdiivka front. And moving on into the New York front, there is nothing here to report about. And into the Bakhmut front, much more quieter, because yeah, there's no one really talk much about it, other than at the Bakhmut city itself. We have confirmation of what the rumors I have mentioned yesterday, that the Ukrainians indeed have withdrawn away from the Nest sector. And similarly, the rumors that the constructor sector has been captured seems to be largely correct, with the Ukrainians only holding the final corner of the constructor sector, with the Russian forces quickly capturing all the grounds over here. And they have established the entire front line along the road, now leaving this only sector called the Domino sector. And this Domino sector, as you can tell from the satellite imaging, it might not be very easy to hold, given that the rest of the Citadel area has been captured rather quickly. So I think the Ukrainians will be launching some tactical withdrawal operations to get their troops out of here. I don't think it's defendable anymore. And so what else did I miss in information? Yeah, the information is coming from Surya Maps. This Surya Maps is the one that actually confirmed this information that I actually saw from another pro-Russian source, which is actually not part of my primary or secondary source of information. And so these are this is the information that are established based on Surya Maps mapping. And outside of outside of Bakhmut city, there's only fighting reported at Ivaniske, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry and Deep State UA. They say that the fighting is in the south of Ivaniske. It's unclear if it's the Ukrainians attacking or the Russians attacking. So the Russians are currently holding the line, and this line is largely, you know, because the Ukrainians overrun it, and the Russians fall back to their second line of defense. And it's unclear if the Russians really want to, you know, push back, you know, or the Ukrainians are wanting to try to hold the line or hold the Russians back. It's kind of unclear at this moment. Otherwise, there's no other fighting being reported at Bakhmut front. And moving on into Siversk front. At the Siversk front, the Russian forces resumed their attack at Bilohorivka. And as per previous information that we know, that the fighting, this Russian force is actually the Akhmat force. They call it the Akhmat North Unit, something like this. And I'm not exactly sure who are they per se, specifically. Probably Chechens, because it's Akhmat. But yeah, rumors. Okay, don't take it very, very seriously. And they are fighting towards Bilohorivka. So far, no success. And this information is reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. And moving into the Crimea front. This is Crimea. And at the Crimea front, we have bombardment reported within the Serebransky forestry. And there is someone who emailed me saying that, you know, forestry is the science, it's not the forest. The word literally doesn't mean a forest. I So the thing is, Serebransky forestry is literally the word used by the Russian Defense Ministry and the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Both of them actually call this Serebransky forestry. So I believe this actually refers to the company that actually owns the place, or this entire place is actually part of this company or something that called forestry. I have no freaking idea. I simply call whatever they call it. So this is what it calls. And if I start to call it Serebransky forest, it's not really a forest, because this is actually planted for lumber. So yeah, timber plantation. It doesn't sound as cool, right? No. Okay, from now on I gotta call it Serebransky jungle. So, and the Russian Defense Ministry reported, actually not Defense Ministry, the Center Group of Forces reported shelling at Yampolivka as well as at Nevsky. So these two locations got bombarded by the Russian forces. Otherwise, there's nothing much to report about. And moving on to the Svetove front. At the Svetove front, we have the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported fighting at Stemakivka, and fighting also reported at Novoselivsky. So this information both is coming from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. We have no idea what's the front lines like, in the sense that what is exactly happening, what kind of attack, no idea, because that's what the Ukrainians do. The Ukrainians don't tell you anything. And then moving into the Kupiansk front, at the Kupiansk front, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported that the Russian forces is attacking Masyutivka, or at least within the area of Masyutivka. And so most likely is that the Russian forces is trying to push out of Masyutivka. It could be across the river as well. It could be just within the forestry or the forest nearby. It's unclear. So yeah, but of course this forest looks rather big. So the Russians, it's going to take some time before they can actually get out of this place, or they will be actually trying to expand out, which is probably unlikely. I don't think so. I think the Russians are too conservative to actually try to do some crazy move and do their own Balaglia offensive kind of thing. So anyway, that's all from Kupiansk front, and this is the summary for the day of 447 for the 16th of May. And for those that are Russians or people who are living in sanctioned land, we have I have created Boosty for the DPA that you can actually now go and subscribe over there. Let's show you. Yeah, it's actually my page. So there is a Defense Politics Asia page. Okay, let me. Yeah. That's fucked up. Never mind. Yeah, so you can actually join this. There's already 2 sergeants already. Very quickly we have already have 2 sergeants within the Boosty regiment, and they actually will have access to the SITREP earlier than most human beings. Anyway, thank you for watching, and do press the subscribe button, press the like button, and I'll see you. And let, of course, feedback. Let me know, what do you think about the UI and everything, the zoom in and stuff like this. And I'll see you in the next update.